and as like I said, I can't stress this enough. We have to do this in a fair and equitable way. We are in the middle of this process. We're still in the middle of it. We still have a lot more people to vaccinate, and so we're offering personnel help. You mentioned the federal help that we're bringing down to Michigan to help to be vaccinators. We're helping with testing as well, and also therapeutic means to be helpful in the state. This is not to let the states figure it out at all. We have been working very closely with governors and state local officials. That is something that we've been doing on day one as we put forth a comprehensive strategy on how to get our vaccination program out there across the country.
So again, that was Karine Jean-Pierre of the White House press office talking with me last hour. So now to the question of whether to get the COVID vaccine that weighs especially hard on pregnant women and fathers-to-be or women who want to get pregnant. The CDC says the vaccines are unlikely to pose a risk to mothers-to-be, but adds the scientific data is limited. Add disinformation to the mix, and it can be a really tough choice. I want to bring in our CNN medical analyst, Dr. Lena Wen, who is a new mother herself, and Dimple Ajmera. She is a councilwoman in Charlotte, North Carolina, who chose to get the COVID vaccine while pregnant. Ladies, great to see you. I've been looking forward to this conversation. I know I have many friends just anecdotally who have been talking about this. So I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Dimple, first to you. You went very public and you tweeted not only that you decided to get the COVID vaccine, but you also included a picture of the shot going into your arm. Tell us what led to your decision to do that.
Thank you, Pamela, for having me. I decided to take a COVID vaccine using an acronym B.R.A.I.T to arrive at the decision. Well, B.R.A.I.T stands for benefits, risk, alternatives, intuition, and timing. So I looked at benefits. I asked myself a question, well, what are the benefits here? That's when I reached out to experts like Dr. Wen and my OBGYN to arrive at the decision. And in my case, really the benefits were that it will provide me the comfort to protect me and my baby. And also it will give me hope to help beat this virus and doing my part. And most importantly, it will give me the freedom from anxiety and fear of living for almost 6 months of catching this vaccine. So those were the benefits after speaking with my OBGYN and experts. Then I looked at risk. So the question was, well, what are the risks associated with taking this vaccine? Well, the answer is all I could find that unforeseen, rare complications, which possibly non-existent. That's all I could find for risk. Then I looked at alternatives. But what are the alternatives here? The alternative, if I did not want to catch COVID-19 and go through major pregnancy complications and at the same time not take the risk of unforeseen rare complication, the only alternative is to stay quarantined till I give birth. Well, in our case, that was not really possible for me and my family because of the high risk with my husband being a dentist and high exposure and him potentially being a carrier, and also because of my service on the Charlotte City Council. Then I looked at the intuition. What is it that my intuition tells me that is best for me? Well, from my intuition, I kept assessing the risk. I kept telling myself that I cannot accept the risk of contracting COVID-19 and developing major complications related to pregnancy just for the sake of unforeseen risk that may not even exist.
Well, we're running out of time, so Dimple, I want to hear more of what you have to say, but I do need to hear from Dr. Wen, because Dr. Wen, not only did you have a baby at the beginning of this pandemic, you have since been vaccinated. Tell us, what are the concerns for pregnant women taking the vaccine and side effects they may experience? You know, I think for pregnant women, some who are nervous about this, they see, well, there's only limited data. And I'm not just talking about pregnant women, also women who want to get pregnant, who might worry how it could impact their fertility. Tell us what we need to know. Educate us.
Absolutely. So I think I would separate these two groups into the two categories: women who want to become pregnant but are not pregnant yet, and women who are already pregnant. So for women who are not yet pregnant, there is no link whatsoever to any concerns about fertility. This is actually disinformation that some anti-vaccine activists have been spreading. And so I think it's really important to know people who are thinking about becoming pregnant, there is no reason for them not to get the vaccine. For women who are pregnant, they were not initially included in the vaccine trials, and so we don't have direct data. However, we now have tens of thousands of women who have chosen to get the vaccine and who are pregnant. And it's really important, as the councilwoman alluded to, there have been no adverse safety signals in this population. And so any risk of having the vaccine in pregnancy is purely theoretical. And that must be weighed against the very real risk of contracting COVID-19. And it is true that pregnant women are at higher risk for having severe outcomes compared to non-pregnant women. And so they're at higher risk for being hospitalized, for being in the ICU. Also, there's a higher rate of preterm birth. And so that is a real risk that women need to think about in consultation with their doctors.
If they get COVID. All right, Dr. Lena Nguyen, Dimple Ajmera, best of luck with the rest of your pregnancy and with labor and delivery and the journey ahead for you, Dimple and Dr. Lena Nguyen. As always, thank you so much. We'll be right back.